Ever feel like you're playing by all the health rules, but your body just isn't cooperating? It's like it's fighting back, right? The advice out there is just a mess, totally confusing. But what if I told you the problem isn't your willpower? What if it's something way deeper? A huge conflict between our ancient biology and the crazy modern world we live in. Let's get into it. Okay, so check out this quote. It's a real mind bender. It completely flips what we think the brain is for. We assume, it's all about thinking, poetry, math, but a Nobel laureate, Roger Sperry, found that a staggering 90% of its energy is spent on just movement. Yeah, moving your body. This one idea, it's the key. It unlocks everything about why our modern lives feel like such a struggle. And that struggle, that battle, it actually has a name. Experts are calling it the crisis of comfort. Think about it. Our bodies are these incredible, finely tuned machines, masterpieces of engineering, but they were designed for a world that's, well, it's gone. And that brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer: evolutionary mismatch. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. Our biology, our hardware, was forged in a world of scarcity, where we were always moving. But now, we've dropped that ancient hardware into a brand new operating system, a world of total abundance and chronic stillness. And that clash, that mismatch, is at the very root of so many of our modern health problems.
Just look at the difference here. It's pretty wild when you see it side by side. Our ancestors dealt with scarcity. We have an overabundance of calories. They were in constant varied motion. We're stuck in chronic stillness. It's a complete 180. And our bodies, honestly, they just haven't caught up. They weren't built for this.
And here's the crazy part, the real paradox. The very instincts that ensured our survival for thousands of years are now betraying us. That deep, primal drive to save energy, to find the easiest path, and to hunt down calorie-dense food, that was a genius survival strategy back then. But today, in our world of sofas and delivery apps, it's a total liability. It works directly against us. So let's be clear about something. That feeling when you just can't resist the couch or that extra cookie, that is not a moral failing. You're not lazy, it's just your biology, running on an ancient program that's completely out of date. And just understanding that, really getting it, that's the first, most powerful step you can take to start working with your body instead of against it. Okay, so if we're wired for comfort and stillness, how in the world do we fight back? Well, the answer isn't what you think. It's not about forcing yourself to spend more miserable hours at the gym. Nope. It's about totally changing the way we even think about movement. First things first, let's blow up a giant myth that's been around forever, the 10,000 step rule. Where did that number even come from? A doctor? A scientific study? Nope. It came from a marketing slogan for a Japanese pedometer back in the 60s. It was just catchy. The actual science today shows that you start getting the really big health benefits way earlier, around the 7,000 step mark. But it gets even better. You don't even need a structured workout. Let me introduce you to something called VILPA. It stands for Vigorous Intermittent Lifestyle Physical Activity. All it means is finding ways to put in short, intense bursts of effort into your normal day. We're talking about taking the stairs 2 at a time, or maybe carrying all the groceries from the car in one go, where you really feel the strain. It's just for a minute or two, but that's all your body needs to get a really powerful health signal. And the payoff for this is just insane. Get this. Scientists have found that just 3 or 4 minutes of this VILPA stuff, spread out across your day, can slash your risk of dying from all causes by up to 30%. 30% for a few minutes of effort. That has to be one of the most efficient health hacks on the planet. If you need a kind of brutal reminder of biology's use it or lose it policy, look no further than the humble sea squirt. It's this little marine animal. When it's young and swimming around, it has a brain. But the moment it finds a nice rock to settle on for the rest of its life, the moment it stops moving for good, it literally digests its own brain. It just doesn't need it anymore. It's a harsh lesson, right? But it shows just how fundamental movement is. It's what keeps all of our systems, including our brains, online. All right, so the message is clear. Move more, and don't be afraid of short, intense bursts. But where do we focus that effort for the biggest bang for our buck? Well, let's get down to the true foundations of your body, the 2 areas that our modern lives have just absolutely wrecked: your muscles and your feet. Let's talk muscle. Most of us think it's just for looks or for athletes, but that's so wrong. Think of your muscle mass as your body's metabolic insurance policy. It's like a savings account for your health. Why? Because it's the #1 place your body parks extra blood sugar. The more healthy muscle you have, the bigger the buffer you have against metabolic problems down the road.
And this is a really, really important point. The path to chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, it doesn't start when you become overweight. No, it often starts years, even decades earlier, inside inactive muscle tissue. And this can happen even in people who look totally lean. When your muscles aren't used, they just get lazy and stop taking up sugar from your blood. So, forget the scale for a second. The health of your muscles tells a much, much more important story. Okay, now for our literal foundation, our feet. For most of us, they're trapped all day in what are basically tiny prisons. Most modern shoes, with their narrow toe boxes and elevated heels, they cram our toes together and throw our entire posture out of whack. Functional footwear, on the other hand, is all about freedom. A wide toe box that lets your toes spread out, a flat, zero-drop sole for proper alignment. They basically let your feet be feet again, getting stronger with every single step you take. So we've talked about rebuilding our physical foundation. Now, let's talk about the fuel we put in the tank. But we need to completely shift our thinking. It's time to stop seeing food as just a number, as just calories.
Because food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every single bite you take is a set of instructions you're sending to your body. These instructions tell your hormones what to do. Hey, store this energy as fat, or go ahead and burn this for fuel. The quality of the food determines the quality of the instruction. You could eat 1,000 calories of donuts or 1,000 calories of steak. Same number, right? But they send profoundly different messages to your body. And the master hormone in charge of all this, the one reading all those instructions, is insulin. When you eat a bunch of processed carbs and sugar, your insulin levels spike way up. And that's a direct command to your body. Store fat now. If that's happening all day long, you're basically locked in fat storage mode. So you see, the real key to metabolic health isn't just eating less. It's eating in a way that keeps insulin low and stable. That's what finally gives your body permission to flip the switch and start burning its own fat for energy. So how do we send these better signals? It's actually pretty straightforward. Here are 4 key steps. Number 1, prioritize protein. It's crucial for maintaining that precious muscle. Number 2, get rid of the inflammatory stuff. We're talking processed sugars and those industrial seed oils like canola and soy. 3, stop grazing. Constantly snacking keeps your insulin high all day. Give your body a break between meals. And number 4, this one is so simple but so powerful, take a short walk after you eat. Your muscles will literally act like a sponge and just soak up all that glucose from your meal. Wow, okay. We have covered a ton of ground, right? We've gone from the real purpose of our brains all the way down to the shape of our shoes. So the big question is, how do we pull all of this together? How do we create a new blueprint that actually works in our busy modern lives? And you know what? The real beauty of this whole approach is that it isn't about some radical, painful overhaul of your life. It's all about small, simple changes that send huge signals to your biology. Things like taking the stairs with a bit of purpose, going for a quick 5-minute walk after lunch, making sure there's protein on your plate. These aren't just random, healthy habits. They're ways of speaking your body's native language. They are tiny acts of honoring the incredible machine you live in. So I want to leave you with one final thought, a question to chew on. We know for a fact that our ancient biology is hardwired to seek comfort, even when it's bad for us. Knowing that, what's one small, deliberate discomfort you can choose to add back into your day? Just one thing. How are you going to bridge that gap between the body you have and the world you live in?